back to the Boardcast. Hey, welcome back, William.
Hello.
I feel like I repeat welcome back a lot, William, because you always disappear for a while and then you reappear.
Yeah, a cute little traveler.
like a Pokemon.
Like a Pokemon?
Is that what Pokemon do?
Well,
What
Pokemon
would William's
appear.
Pokemon be?
Is it like
What type is William?
Sir.
Yeah, what would William be?
Leaf, water,
Have you seen that one that's kind of like a trash can?
grubbage? What about the Sesame Street guy?
What's the Sesame Street? Oh, Grouchy.
Oh.
Grouch. Is it Grouch? The Grouch?
Groucho?
Grouch?
Grouchy? Grimace?
We should know.
No, Grimace is the purple one.
Grimace is amazing. Grimace is from
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
What the heck?
That's William.
You're way off, bro.
It's that, but he travels.
I like we've got to decide which Pokemon is and he becomes Grimace from McDonald's.
Pokemon is from Japan, and William just came from Japan. See?
Hello.
The connection.
Konnichiwa.
The connection you created works. Well done.
Exactly. How's Japan, William?
It's great.
Great. One word.
Lots of work.
Would
Lots
you
of
be a
walking.
different Pokemon in Japan than you are in Australia?
Well, the Pokemon names in Japan is
You
different.
evolve?
Yeah, it just means
like
play
Magikarp?
monster, right? Pokemon?
No, it's the same Pokemon, but they name things differently. Like Jigglypuff has a different name.
What's Jigglypuff in
I don't know.
Japan?
Oh, so it's just got like a Japanese name.
Yeah.
I bet it was just Jigglypuff again.
Nah.
Is it Japanese where there's not a lot of crossover words to English?
There is.
There is?
Yeah,
Okay.
there is.
So why wouldn't they just call it Jigglypuff?
No, they call it differently.
Puffy Jiggles.
I don't know. Like
So why
something
were
else.
you in Japan, William?
I was there for the Bandai BCF like fest. Like it's like Warhammer Fest, but card
Oh,
fest
they're
this-
boating camping officials.
Is this a thing they do regularly, or is it the first time?
every year.
Every year.
Yeah,
Bandai
this is the
Fest.
finals. So the biggest one is the one in Japan.
Right. Naturally, in Japan because they manufacture it in Japan, and Bandai's
Correct.
from Japan.
Correct. So you got to see all the new card games.
What do they call Bandai in Japan?
Bandai.
Does it have a different name?
No.
It's a Japanese name.
So there was.
What's Nintendo called in Japan?
pretty big.
Nintendo.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Like the queue to go in.
What games did they have on show? And I know they also have a few upcoming games too, right?
Right, Gundam is there.
The Gundam
miniatures
TCG.
as well. Gundam miniatures.
Did they look good?
Oh, they look good.
They released like a Gundam like is it was some like mass directed revival because there's like a video game, a mobile app game. All this stuff came out for Gundam at the same time.
Yeah.
Or is it just a hard
It
push
does
from
feel
Bandai?
like a coordinated effort to push it again.
Does
That makes
Bandai
sense.
own all of it or just the card game?
No, they own Bandai, like Gundam
They
itself.
own Gundam
The
itself.
IP, just like Warhammer.
So is Gundam like a Sony situation where they own a bunch of
no, it's like
different stuff?
Warhammer. Exactly like Warhammer.
Ah, okay.
Just put it as Warhammer. They own everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Impressive.
pretty much.
Is
Bandai
it-
owns a lot of things.
What are the other like major Bandai titles then? Is there video games they've got?
Yeah.
Well, they own the IP, which is like again Warhammer. Again, the whole thing comes back to Warhammer, right? So Warhammer don't own the
Like
the
Space
video
Marines
game.
40K.
They own the IP.
Yeah,
The
so what,
IP
what
is
are the
matter a
other
lot.
like tentpole Bandai things?
Well,
then?
I think was it Bandai Namco is the same company,
Correct.
right? They
Yeah, the
also make-
Namco thing, that's
They
what
make
I'm
video
thinking of.
games.
The Time
Yeah.
Crisis.
So, for example,
Time Crisis. That's
That's what we wanted to buy
Yeah.
all the
for the store.
all the Dark
I could
Souls
get a Time
games
Crisis.
are Bandai Namco.
$1,000, Daddy.
Is that what it is? $1,000?
Yeah, I'll show you the post on Facebook Marketplace before.
Is the Gundam TCG the only upcoming game for Bandai? Do they have more in the works?
No.
There's a few Bandai games that aren't present in Australia. Like
lot.
Union Arena is a
Yeah,
big one.
There's a lot.
Is that like a big Southeast Asia kind of thing?
No, it's in US only.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's pretty much the anime card game where it just is the all the anime smash bang into one card game.
So Magic the Gathering.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
actually, yeah.
But not as great. But
I know Digimon settled. Like it was going.
it's
it wasn't-
insane. Like
wasn't doing too well for a
my
while. but I think it's-
experience for every kind of fest, right? That I went to Warhammer Fest before, and I could say that Bandai.
And we've also mentioned Warhammer Fest on the podcast. You can go back and check that episode out, listeners.
Which episode, King?
The
was
one
pretty-
labeled Warhammer Fest.
So what happened was the check-in is pretty impressive. So you have to have like a
Which city is it?
Tokyo.
So smack bang, capital.
Yes,
Bandai.
but it's outskirts. Like it's pretty out. The check-in is seamless. So what you need to do is through the Bandai app, you need to put your face picture.
Yeah.
You gotta take a picture of yourself first.
Just scans you in as you go in.
Correct. So when you go to the counter to check in, there's an iPad there,
wonder-
which your face just goes in. It checks you in,
It's almost like going into a nightclub where they just check your ID.
and then there's like no ticketing. So cool.
So do you, when I worked at Frost Stop, one of the primary things that I was trying to get across in Australia was, let's say you're going to a festival, right?
Correct.
when you buy your ticket through an app or whatever system it is, you submit your driver's license, your
Correct.
thing when buying the ticket. And then when you walk into the festival, there's no queue lines to get in. You just walk in through the entrance, which says like a big, I don't know, like a pavilion thing that you walk through. And in the pavilion, as you walk through get inside, there's cameras in there that scan your face as you enter.
I think it's too hot. You know why? Because some people will be looking down, up, left, right.
The system 100% could do it. What it was is
No. What I'm saying is some people will look down.
Yeah, but there's enough as you walk through the pavilion. Those people will then get marked out for someone to come grab them as they're walking through.
Like it's easy. I think it's easier like in the airport. Same thing with like Tokyo Airport, right?
Ultimately,
it's all face
this is
recognition
a
now.
security thing.
Yeah, the main thing was that we couldn't push it through Parliament because it was like a breach of public privacy. All the system physically worked. There's no problem with it whatsoever. It could get 99% of people, even people wearing glasses and stuff like that as well. It was no drama. The idea was that it was trying to dramatically decrease the level of like friction when entering a venue and stuff like that, but also you get just like Scantech, which is when you have a nightclub, they scan you so that if you get into a fight later on and you know there's an incident, you run away, they have all your details so they can follow you up later.
That's privacy policy, bro.
But the thing is, like, but when you accept going into a nightclub, they won't let you in if you don't submit by giving your driver's license. There's no way in and out of that, right? So you're already accepting it there.
But you're not storing the data of the driving license, right?
Scantech absolutely stores data.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it stores it so that if you get into a fight and then you glass someone and then the police want to collect your details, they can collect it any time they want.
Oh, right.
So, and that's how if you get banned from a nightclub and you get banned in Scantech at one nightclub, you're banned from every venue in Perth that uses that technology, which is a good majority of them now. So
it's honestly a fair initiative because about a decade ago, like fights in clubs were just the norm.
Oh, it was absolutely crazy. Yeah.
But now it's very rare.
The amount of people that got glassed in nightclubs was insane. Like horrifically mutilated for the rest of their life. And like the big, even like 5-10 years ago when they started doing like that king, they used to call it the king hit.
Yeah,
and then they changed it to coward punch for that same reason.
Right.
Because
the name was too like good.
yeah, it sounded like you're like the king hit made it sound like it was too impressive.
What?
So
How do you say it?
They used to call it in like in media when someone would punch someone from the back of the head.
Yeah.
They called it a king hit. That's just
Wait,
like,
that was what it was?
That was just
I thought the king hit was you just punch someone, they fall on the ground and hit the back of the head on the floor.
It's more of just, it was like a colloquial term when somebody basically just like punch someone really hard once.
One kill.
Right?
Coward punch. Yeah, one hit.
So then the media changed it, or the government made an initiative to get the media to change it to call it a coward punch, to like, just to really like assert what they were as their crackdown on it at the time. Because they jailed some people those first few years for like 10, 20 years.
Damn.
For doing it. Because
like, punching someone in the back of the head is just super, super dangerous.
Yeah.
Right?
Once
right.
it's
every combat sport ever, it's banned.
in so many of those situations as well, it's like once people hit the deck and they're in like a nightclub or a car park or something, they hitting the ground is horrific. Like people go into siege and comas pretty, and working in nightclubs and in stuff like that, I've actually seen it a lot.
I see.
So it's kind of gross. But the whole idea was that it kind of created the situation for the situation to be like entering the places much quicker, so you don't have to line up and scan things. Basically, the system would scan if you were a female with like a bag and you had to get checked, it would flag you out to people whose job it is to do that. But you would need far less people checking, because you're not just checking everybody, you're just checking the people that you needed to check.
Right.
Same as the people, like if you didn't catch someone because they were actively trying to avoid it, then you just get flagged and someone would come over to you before you made it through the pavilion. But we couldn't get that through because of the whole idea that it was like, breaching people's privacy and safety. But like then you go to here and it's essentially the same thing. So it was more about, like they said to us at the time, it's like the reality is this technology will come right now. And it's the same kind of technology they use to catch you texting on your phone in your car from
Apparently WA out of the cameras where they've just been capturing thousands of people using their phone while driving. No, like
all of those
nothing's been pressed for it yet, but they just announced that they've been collecting data for it.
Yeah. So all of those new bars that go across the freeways
With the speed.
With the speed on them, all of those has cameras for every single lane. So they've been collecting them and sending warnings to people that have got caught. So for the up until it's the next couple of months, it'll change over. But in the next month or two, you've been getting up until now, you've been getting warnings in your mail being like, "Hey, we've caught you. Don't do this."
Ooh, I haven't got a warning in the mail yet.
But when it's
Don't do it.
Whatever the date is,
I definitely don't.
In the next month or so, when the date changes, it'll go straight to $1,000 fine. So you get a $1,000
You want to
fine.
be rich? Do it.
Yeah, but sometimes I gotta like change songs.
No. You want to be rich? Do it. That's what I'm thinking, right? People people who text while driving get rich.
The texting while driving is egregious. I definitely don't.
Texting
do
while
that.
driving.
That's
rich?
egregious.
No, they're rich.
Oh, they
Yeah,
are
they can
rich,
afford.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
rich.
But it's also 3 demerit points.
Yeah, I don't care. They're rich.
Yeah, but at
No,
some
but the
point
demerit
you've
point
got.
system is so that you can't just.
I know.
Keep
I know,
paying
but
fines.
You can
rich.
only give your mum and your dad and your sister and your brother so many demerit points before you
Oh,
have
you
to cop
can?
yourself. Yeah, you can. It's lying, but you can.
Ah.
But they've also got better at stopping that system. I've actually never done it. I'm pretty good with with not getting ticketed. So
I got one ticket once. I drove like 2 kilometers above.
Damn, getting caught on 2 km
50
is
bucks.
rough.
2K above is rough. Quite often there's like a speedy camera has. I could be wrong, but it
Well,
used to,
no demerit.
Yeah.
But just $50 or something.
Yeah, it used to give you a 3 kilometer leeway because the system like the gate aren't gauged like 100%.
No, I was like coming from like 100 to 80. So I was slowing down. It's just
Yeah.
that when I pass it.
too slow.
That's
Yeah.
rough because you're
Slow to
slow.
slow
You're going
down.
to a place to slow down. That's rough.
Yeah.
Not even accelerating.
I was like, ah.
I always love it when it's at the bottom of a hill and you're like, because
Yeah.
every speeding I've ever got, and at some point I had to do
The
double. or
bottom of the
nothing,
hill
right?
ones is like entrapment.
Yeah, I
it feels
feel
like
that is-
come on,
Like
man.
I know you're supposed to be paying more attention, but I've got quite a few fines over the years. But I'm also driving the truck all the time. I've never been caught speeding where I've intentionally been speeding. It's always like I'm just not paying enough attention. I didn't notice like a sign change. So I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I got double or nothing, this was quite a few years ago before I went up north. I got one. At some point it was a really hot summer and I got psoriasis on my chest hair because I've got a lot of chest hair. So I got psoriasis there. And I didn't have my seatbelt on in front of me. I had it on behind me, but I got 2 demerit points and a fine for that. I got once when in that same period of time, I was Uber driving and I did a U-turn in a place you're not supposed to do a U-turn. So in Australia, or at least Western Australia, you can only U-turn if the sign says you can U-turn. So you can't U-turn anywhere.
Wait, what?
Unless
You
the
didn't
sign-
know?
So everyone's just been doing it wrong.
Yeah, everyone does it wrong.
Yeah, you
right?
got to see the sign before you can U-turn.
Yeah, so there's, you can only U-turn if there's a sign saying you can. Now I
That's
was
almost no streets.
yes, almost. It's basically no. It's like 99.9% of places you can't. I did a U-turn at Scarborough on West Coast Highway because I was picking someone up at the observation city there. 5 cars did the U-turn.
You started the
I was
trend.
the 3rd car in the line. The police pulled me over and fined me.
Like, okay, we have to get someone here.
I guess they're like, the guy in the Audi can afford the fine. I was like, I am Uber driver. I don't have this kind of money. The guy was like, too bad. So I did that. And then I think I got 2 speeding fines over 5 kilometers. And that put me on double or nothing. So
What's
what
double nothing?
double or nothing is you can, because you're going to lose your license.
You know, when you told me, I think it was, I don't know if it was you or someone in the Northern Boards told me about double or nothing. I didn't know about it until then. I thought this was like a joke. I thought it was like an elaborate bit.
What is
I didn't
double
know it was a
nothing?
real thing.
So the police in charge of doing like the road thing, right? Or in your license, they give you an option. You can either take because you're going to lose your license for 9 months, whatever it is, right? And pay X fine. If you want to do double or nothing, I can't get. I think it's 12 months or 24 months. I don't know what it is. Whatever. I can't remember what it is now. But it was like you can't get a single infraction in that entire say 12 months. If you get any single infraction, they double the time you're banned and the time you're fined.
Oh, this is a gamble.
But
You're a gambling man.
It is a gamble. But if you don't get an infraction, you don't lose your license.
Right.
So I was allowed to, instead of losing my license right there, I could continue to drive. But if I got a single infraction in that time period,
But you just drive like a
if-
good boy.
I'm pretty,
Well, what I
I'm
did
pretty
was-
sure it's a trap. I'm pretty sure
most
it's
people
almost
fail.
a trap.
The failure rate of double or nothing is incredibly high because if you've already got to the point where you've even just accidentally, I say accidentally, it's 100% my problem, right? So I should have not been U-turning. I should have been wearing my seatbelt. Should not have got fined for speeding. But if you've already got to that point, the chance of you getting another infraction in the next 12 months is quite high because you've racked up a few in the last 12 months to get there.
So another thing is, right, with seatbelts. So I could forgive someone who has an older car. You didn't wear your seatbelt. But if you have a newer car.
An older person.
No.
Because there's no cars legally in Australia that can drive without seatbelts.
So you got to
No,
mention seatbelts real
not
quickly.
about that. It's just that the amount of noise it will make in the car.
What?
With
Yeah,
all
the beeping.
the beeping and notification.
Some people get those.
okay.
Some people get the fake seatbelts. Just turn the notifications
Yeah,
off.
just the click bit.
Right.
But like the Audi that I had, that could tell if you've got weight on the seatbelt. So if I put like say something like heavy boxes like from we picked up through the club, I'd have to click those seatbelts in because the weight would also know,
Yes,
and that would
correct.
still beep at you as well.
The speaking
But I
of the
see what you're saying.
seatbelt
If
thing,
you're older and you're getting no things, maybe you just forgot to put it on.
Yeah.
But it's also like the amount. I think the chance of you dying with your seatbelt on is like 5 times the amount. With off, if you don't have your seatbelt on, the chance of you dying in a crash is like 5 times more. Yeah.
The in the footage they've shown of the people driving on the highway, because it records people on their phone. It also takes photos of people who are wearing their seatbelt wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
A lot of people wear their seatbelt wrong.
Yeah.
Like when they have it tucked under the arm. Why?
Some people just don't like it against their neck.
Yeah, because it cuts here.
What?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, it depends on your height. If you're like a shorter person driving, it's always gonna cut your neck.
Yeah,
like
I
mine
assume
is gonna
that's the
be
case.
here, like on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a shorter person, it's gonna be here. See right here. When you turn,
awkward.
when you turn your
Yeah.
head,
Yeah.
it just cuts. Like it just.
Yeah, I know, and that's why like Lucas's mum, she has like a little cushion thing that runs down the seatbelt so that it's like cushiony because she's quite short. So her thing is like sits under her chin and is always like
And you can
here.
sleep while driving.
That's useful.
Yeah, so for my double or nothing, I just went and worked up north for 2 years. So
Ah.
that I was not driving anywhere near as much, and definitely
So
not.
you're in the statistic that cleared it.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
Which is, I was lucky because
Right now, I'm lucky because I still have family members to cop fines for me.
are you a naughty boy on the roads? Are you, Kang?
Nah, I just
Rich.
No. I live near a school zone.
Oh.
Man, there's no, I can forgive a lot, but speeding in a school zone is
No.
a hard no.
The problem, okay,
Pretty
it's
dick
never been
move.
like speeding much. It's always been like 5 kilometers and stuff.
Fair
But the main thing is that I live near a school zone, but the way I exit out, I'm not near any of the indicators of the school zone. And I'll sometimes forget, or if it like goes from like school holidays to not being school holidays,
Yeah.
I'll forget what time it is, what day it is. But also they get me a lot because whether I'm leaving for the morning for uni or I'm coming home from work or whatever, not from work, from uni or whatever. And we always call in the time where it's like 8 o'clock. It's like 8:10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? Where there's no kids around, so I can't
Yeah, it's
tell.
after the time they've already started. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the good thing about newer cars is they'll tell you in a school zone.
Do they use GPS?
Yeah, the GPS
Now
will
they'll
track
tell
that.
you like
Clever.
you are in a school zone.
But that's a very new car thing. Most cars don't.
yeah, I mean like new. That's what I'm saying. New,
Yeah.
right? And also use like apps like Waze to tell you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not using Waze 90. You know,
Wait,
I'm not.
When I'm in the car,
Yeah.
it's straight going to like Apple
Like if
Play.
I'm in the
Yeah,
morning
Waze.
and I'm
I
like
hear ya.
just
Waze up.
leaving home, I'm not turning Waze on. I'm driving to like uni.
That's why.
Autopilot.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do drive with like Google Maps away.
One time I got caught. It was like I was 5 kilometers over on the last probably 10 meter stretch out of the school zone, and they put a
Yeah.
camera there. It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
Up here, this school here on Hartman Drive, the police are there almost every day.
That's exactly where it is.
Yeah.
That's where I get caught all the time.
The police.
Yeah, well, you didn't learn.
You should
did
learn
you?
your lesson.
You did not learn.
It's been a while since I've done it, but yeah.
Sometimes on the truck, I'll get caught out because I'll do a delivery.
What's your demerit right now? 0?
Uh,
Almost there.
it's like, yeah. This whole the whole driving thing is everyone has been through it. Everyone has been through it. This sucks.
Do
This
you
is
guys
stupid.
flash people if there's a speed camera?
Never, because that's illegal too.
It is illegal.
Wait,
too.
flash people? The speeding camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, illegal.
What do you mean?
If the
Like if there's a quite often there's a
a roadblock like a boost bus or whatever.
RBT, yeah, police there, or
Oh, you
things.
warn other drivers.
Yeah, you flash your lights, yeah, to let them know there's one.
I do think there's every now and again you'll get the guy who puts a sign down that says speed camera ahead.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah.
Always the best.
Well, you know,
Just
that
use Waze.
they also announce on the police website every day where they're
Yeah.
going to be. You can check in the morning.
That's the thing, right? If they tell you where it's gonna be and you still speed, that's your fault.
Yeah. I used to flash, but now I don't flash.
That's your fault. If
Yeah.
you,
Everyone for themselves now.
Well, I thought I was being helpful, but now I'm like, wow, I've been on the truck and I've seen so many crashes directly in front of me. I'm like, fuck that guy. Especially the ones,
Yeah.
the school zone ones. If the people who flashing people are the people in the school zone, if they're speeding in school zone,
I
they're
drive
a dickhead.
really careful around schools.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's nothing in my head. There's probably nothing worse than getting in an accident involving a child. That's
Oh.
that's a horrifying
I
event.
know.
so I was like, a lot of people complain about boost bars.
Mm-hmm.
So recently there's a lot of people getting into accidents while drunk in WA.
Oh yeah, heaps. Yeah.
Yeah, heaps.
I
So
don't-
I feel like boost bars, it's a good thing.
I won't go into it because it's actually really horrific. But a car crash happened in Merriwa quite a few years ago, and the result was very bad. And the lady was incredibly drunk, and the car drove through the house
Oy.
off the side of a main road. And I really changed my perspective.
The
on-
involving the family, involving a house, is
Yeah.
super rough.
Yeah, when it went almost halfway through the house, so it took out a few rooms,
Shit.
and it was pretty gross, and it really changed my perspective on how I thought about drunk driving and stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, you don't think things aren't that bad. But as you get older and you see this, even in just your head, the stat lines start to rack up of like the terrible things you've heard of. You're like, oh, okay. But when you're young, it's the same thing as like when you think you're invincible. When you're young, you're not going to get hurt. This is never going to happen to you.
That's
but
right.
The reality is, as time goes by,
Why'd you look at me, William?
That's right.
Why'd you look at me when you say
yeah,
that?
young people.
yeah. So it's like I think it's definitely a young person thing where that just perspective changes. The same for me is like texting and driving. The amount of near or like crashes or near crashes I see every single day of people texting driving is fucking crazy.
The texting part is super wild.
Because you're so distracted.
Everything on your phone is distracting. Everything. Trust me. 1 second off the road, they did the thing, right? 1 second off the road is how like you can't see the road for like how many meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just blind.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
When I was quite young, and where I used to live in Westminster, on the main road one night, it was like middle of the night, we heard a big crash, and then there was a car just smashed into the a brick fence on like our neighbors down the road, and like three people in the car passed away.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, it was like middle of the night. I remember me being young, maybe like probably like 7 or 8, wanted to run out and see what was going on, just to kind of like the youthful curiosity. And my dad was like, no,
not this one. Yeah,
because my dad was actually one of the early ones to get out and see what was happening, and he actually saw and he witnessed like the sight.
How messy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Connor, who comes to play at the club, he lived on a corner block. The one who was my neighbor, like we lived next to each other. And his house on that corner block was next to kind of like it was a big space roundabout. I don't really know what that means, but that's what it was, right? There's a lot of space for people to maybe like do doughies around the roundabout and stuff.
Oh, drift.
Oh, no, so it's a roundabout that doesn't have the median in the middle.
It does, but it was just really when they made that road, it was just really wide for some reason. So people would do their car would go full sideways and burn out the whole way around.
Yeah.
And it was a really big one. It was a big one for being like just randomly in a suburb.
We get that
for
one
no
guy
reason.
who has the Nissan Silvia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And nothing ever like fake ever happened there. But his fence line on that corner of his house got crashed into, and I'm not even kidding, at least 100 times.
Oh my God. A brick fence?
They would have it repaired, and within 1 or 2 weeks, it started as a brick one, and they changed it to color blonde because it was getting damaged so much. And then they put a retaining wall in behind it to try and secure it up a bit. Didn't matter because it was kind of like the thing, they were at the top of the hill. So there was like a retaining wall up. So the fence line was a bit higher than the house. So quite often the car would end up with the wheels on top of the roof. Because it's like the roof.
Oh my God.
You know, like the house is just stepped down a little bit.
New strategy. Instead of a fence, you build a ramp to launch the car away from the house.
So they go over the top. So recently his parents sold that house, right? I actually talked about this on the podcast a couple months ago. They sold the house. A car had hit it like a couple weeks before, and they just hadn't replaced it because they were like in the process of fixing everything up. They fixed it. Somebody hit it the next day. Somebody like crashed their car through it, damaged it all after they'd fixed it. They're like, fuck, the people were supposed to be coming for like the inspections and the company selling it. So they fixed it. Somebody hit it the next day after it got fixed. So in the space of 3 weeks, it got hit 3 times, right? Then they fixed it. They took all the photos.
You'd think after the, 36th time, they would just be like, should we even bother fixing?
But you can't because then there's just people just walk into it's on the corner of the street.
You know how
could just walk into your yard, into your house.
How they like the olden times where they put
You build a moat.
What they
instead.
actually did was they built a second fence further back, so it was fenced and double fenced.
You know, like the stuff that prevents the tanks from crossing.
Yeah,
like
the-
the spikes, you just put
those big,
traps.
big like knuckle
Big
things.
tank traps, yeah.
So they fix it the third time. The people come do the photos. They take it all. Another car hits it like 2-3 days later.
They're uninsurable.
Yeah, if that fence line was uninsurable, they wouldn't. The insurance company wouldn't do it anymore. This was years ago. Actually, they wouldn't do it. They hit it. Then they got it fixed again. Somebody bought
Imagine
it.
being the neighbor. The neighbors are like, glad it's not us.
Yeah. So somebody bought it, and then it got hit like 2 days later again. But at that point, someone had already paid for the house. They're like, fuck it. But it was in the space of a month. It was like 5 times. It's fucking crazy. And the neighbors across the road saw some people, like this elderly couple, saw the last person to hit not the last one, the one before the last one. They saw the people that did it, and they chased them and went to their house, and then they got their address, and they text Connor's mum with the address that the people went to, and Connor went to the house, was like, "You're paying for this fence," and the people paid for it.
damn.
Apparently because like the neighbor went straight there, followed them home, took photos of their cars that he'd hit the fence.
Dude, I
with.
like that the neighbors were tired of
Yeah, everybody.
of
It was honestly insane. The one of the other neighbors who lived across from the roundabout.
At what point do you just take some like vigilante justice and you like, I don't know, middle of the night, you put cow chops out.
Yeah, every night you like, you know, in like Warhammer Fantasy, the Bretonians have those wooden spikes that
Yeah,
aim up.
the palisade
Like, the
walls.
palisade, you put a palisade up in front of it.
It's crazy.
The other neighbor was talking about how like when he hears the crashes, he doesn't even get out of bed anymore. He's like, oh fuck. But like no one ever seriously injured themselves. It was always just like
Stupid shit.
Yeah, car just went straight through the collarbone. It was like off they go. But it was like over the years, like then it was like
Isn't that pretty bad for the car? You can get the car stuck on the collarbone.
you can do, but it was like people just some guys would just drive it out, and maybe the tires will.
Oh, the other day, did you see the car driving through Scarborough? Just today on the news. It was like some Prado just like completely wrecked driving through the pedestrian in Scarborough Beach.
Really?
Yeah,
The police were chasing
Trying
it
to
and
hit
everything.
people and stuff, or just
No,
being
I just
a bit of cocaine.
I don't know. I know
The it was under. I think it was a police chase or something.
Yeah, there was a police chase. I think he was just on a getaway, but his car was wrecked. He wasn't. The wheel alignment was completely fucked. The back tire was gone.
So I actually have a story that lines in this quite well. It was part of my notes here that I
Is
wrote
your
today.
story if you were in a car chase, how would you get away?
The opposite, actually. Actually, the direct opposite of this, right?
Yeah.
So I did a delivery up in Averley, which is not too far from
Oh
where,
yeah.
where
Hello.
William-
I was like, Averley. That sounds so familiar.
so it's nearby to where William lives. A little bit of doxing going on, but like that whole area is well known to be planned the worst. It's the worst planned suburb in all of the country.
purpose.
I thought it's the
state.
best suburb.
No, planned wise, road wise, the absolute shittest.
Is it
You
because
have
of
to-
the empty just area?
Nah,
where they can't build through.
everything was just the original design around that whole area was around the golf course. So it's not.
Oh,
think of like a
nightmare.
nice gridded like suburb where all the houses, like all the roads are straight and you interchange at corners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everything's all these long winding things, and there's no main roads that go anywhere near any of it. It's all a fucking nightmare. All those suburbs around there, all of them terrible. It's like delivery wise, you can drive from here to the other side of Wangara, be there in 5 minutes.
Is it one of those suburbs that has like 2 exits?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely like that.
So you just
Yes.
get turbo congestion.
Yeah, it's super congested, and like there's just all the original planning was just it's all nice and wavy, and there's parks everywhere, but it's just super. There's no direct route to anywhere, right?
That's why you don't go out of that.
Anyway, heading into Averley,
Gotta go to work, mate.
this kind of older lady, right? She cut me off at a roundabout. It was quite bad. She just clearly wasn't paying attention, and she cut me off, and I was like, I didn't even. I see she's older. I didn't even react at all. I was like, okay. Sure, you nearly died. She nearly drove basically under the front of my truck, and I was like, oh. But she like looks up at me. I could like now we're like a meter away from each other, and we're just looking at each other windscreen. And she kind of like freaks out and she drives off really quick. And I was like, okay. I'm following Google Maps, and because I'm no jokes. If you look at Google Maps, the place is a maze. I'm just following Google Maps for my next delivery. I go a couple streets, and then all of a sudden she's at an intersection directly in front of me again. So she looks at me, and she's quite scared. And I was like, oh, but I'm just following Google Maps. But we hadn't seen each other for about a minute or two as we're driving. But I think she thinks I'm following her. So she starts driving around, and we drive for no joke, like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And we're taking every exact turn. I am following her now, but I'm not intending to. I'm just following Google Maps to where I'm going, right? Anyway, we get to the end of this long string, and I know I say this a lot, but I'm 100% going to do. I've written my notes so that I can actually show. Like, I'm going to put some photos on Instagram on the Boardcast thing so people can see what I'm talking about. I follow her for like 6, 7 minutes. We get to this really end of a really
6, 7 minutes is
it's a
suspicious.
lot. It's like more than 10 turns that I've now followed her down. And we get to the end of this really long like cul-de-sac, and the house that I'm delivering the timber to is at the very end of this cul-de-sac. And I pull like up, and I'm like kind of being like with waving my hands at her, being like, I'm just doing a delivery, like I'm trying to communicate with this lady, but she's looking
Trying
at
to
me
be-
in the
yeah,
rear view mirror, and I can see her in her rear view mirror because I'm up in the truck, and she's looking at me, and she's getting more frantic and like taking turns and shit. And anyway, the house is like the literal last house in the end of the cul-de-sac, and she's in front of me at the tip of the cul-de-sac, and I'm like pulling in here, and I'm like pointing at the timber and at the house, and like, but I just followed this poor lady for like 10 minutes, and she was scared shitless, and she turned in her car and sped off really quickly, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Sounds like a horror movie.
I did. It was. I entered a horror movie unintentionally.
The bad part of my brain was after following for 4 or 5 minutes, my brain would have been like, fuck it, I'm going to commit to the bit. And just start honking at her, being on purposely antagonistic.
Just driving down the street honking. But I felt so bad. Like, it was in every regard.
At that point, the universe. What did that lady be scared?
Google Maps was having the piss.
Yeah.
Though. But yeah, to me, I felt so bad, but it was very funny. I was like, if anybody would think that I was following them because it was so many turns. I took so many turns exactly just where she turned into. And at some point I thought, is this lady, like I was worried that it's going to be the same lady.
How many body gestures can you do to be unassuming?
Well, I was worried that she was going in so much the exact direction
She
I
just
was
thought
going
you were a
in.
psychopath. You're giving her thumbs up,
Yeah.
trying to be unassuming. She's like, oh my God.
Well, I was worried that she was going to end up being the person I was doing the delivery to.
That'd be great.
No, terrible. Because she took so many weird turns to get to where I was going
Because
to.
then she gets out of her car, goes to the home, and you walk out and knock on her door.
Timber.
Can you imagine? Oh dear! But I don't know,
Can you
this
imagine
is-
trying to explain to like, I couldn't make the delivery. She was too scared.
She wouldn't open the door for me. The
I thought
funny
you was just dump it on the lawn, right?
well, it's Timber's supposed to have to go inside the house, and this is a whole other goober stuff. But the funniest bit was the lady. I'd already got out of the truck and was like talking to knocked on the door, and the lady came out of the house because she'd heard the truck approach. She knew I was coming. I always call ahead, so she'd come out, and she just sees this lady do a like hard turn in the car in the cul-de-sac and speed off quite quickly, and her face was like, "That's weird," and I was like, little does she know that I've just stalked this poor lady for the last 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Anyway, that was my adventure into Averley.
Oh.
So anyway,
Interesting.
Bandai Fest in Japan, right?
Yes.
Man, fuck, we went real far.
We went, dude, I don't even know what initiated this tangent.
I don't know, bro.
We went,
That's right. We've done 32 minutes, and I've got one of my points
Yeah,
off, and we
it's
got
content.
a quarter of the way into it.
where the fuck were we again? All right, Bandai Fest. We were, so what card games were there at Bandai Fest?
Oh, that was the whole thing. You talked about getting like the facial recognition
Yeah.
thing, and I was like,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
because I thought it was funny that I couldn't do it at a festival where they're trying to stop people fighting, and they're just
We got at the topic of
Yeah.
stalking from security scan.
and they're just happily letting people do it at the card thing. You know what I mean? You see what the
But
dichotomy?
that's Japan, though.
Yeah, but it's like that's what I'm saying. Like the whole system started in like Germany, I think, where
Yeah, but that's Japan.
so you can get on the train without having to buy a ticket.
Wait, which train?
So on the train lines, it scans your face and it just automatically debits your train account because it sees
I was
you.
thinking of the wrong time of train.
Kang's
so over there-
browser history is weird.
Yeah, we know that. In Germany, they're happy to catch trains like that. In Japan, they're happy to play games like that. Over here, they're not. You can't go into a restricted area, and Australians are like my
game?
privacy.
What card game do they play in Germany, you reckon? Magic the Gathering?
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
it's Proto there.
nah. There's not. It's got to be something real, like it's only they only play divorced dads.
Wait, Divorced Dad had such a great premise, but when
Yeah.
the game actually released, because he couldn't use any of the stock images he was using for the memes, all the art he used was just AI generated.
Bummer.
Crap.
I've heard the game's not too bad actually. Some people have played it. That's also hearsay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, Bandai.
Yes.
Games. So, obviously, I'm going to make assumptions. Tell me if there's any more card games that are missing here. Digimon, One Piece.
yes, yes,
Gundam.
Gundam was an upcoming one.
yes,
Dragon Ball.
yes.
What other card games?
Union Arena.
Union Arena, sure.
Yes.
Is that the main one?
is that it?
Is that all of it?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is Dragon Ball Z still going strong enough?
Fusion will. Yeah.
I'm assuming One Piece is the biggest. Easily.
Yeah, they had one hall.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole.
And you were
one
there
hall.
at Bandai Fest because there was a tournament.
Correct. But it wasn't. It didn't felt like Worlds because all the players were playing in like the meeting rooms. You can't go in.
The specific
So they're not
things.
open. So there were tournaments.
Were they
like
recording
events.
them or something? Is that
Wait,
why?
Hold on. So there were events where people play. You can play games. Those are open, but the ones in like for the Worlds, it's all in a meeting room. You can't go in. There's
Yeah.
there's no streaming.
Oh.
Yeah. So no one know what's
What
happening.
was the fucking point then?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I guess it's like heavily regulated. Judges
Nah.
present, everything.
No. It's just I feel like it's poorly organized on the world's part. Like no one could watch what the players were playing.
I get it if they turned it into like a sound booth where they wanted to have nice crisp recording.
They
So-
don't have to. Like you just put the camera in
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
It feels like in a big card game festival, like a convention, having the top table streamed to the crowd of people there as a big celebration.
Yeah, that's
would
what
be
you want to
awesome.
see, right?
I know
Top
you're just
players
guessing
playing.
conjecture here, but do you think it was like a space thing maybe?
No, there's huge space in there.
It does feel like
There's only
There's got to
32.
be a reason they did it then.
There's only 32 people playing. for Worlds.
Yeah. There's got to be a reason they chose to take that route.
Lame reason. But they streamed the top 4.
The obvious thing is maybe they just ran it. They just didn't organize it properly. They ran out of time for how they want to sort out the
last year.
space.
The last year they did
So
it.
they phoned in the tournament alongside the convention, maybe.
Yeah. We'll just shove them in the rooms and then people.
Last year they did it properly. They had proper tables as well.
Did people voice their opinions of these complaints?
No, I don't think you can voice it.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
There's no like feedback like Australia.
This is the official feedback to Japan's World Tour. So
Dear
shit out
Japan, Bandai.
So I think
so
that's
for
the only
you,
thing.
was it more of a have fun and play games at a convention?
I didn't play games. I just take a look,
Kind of hang out.
kind of see how the market is there. It's
Oh.
crazy,
What is the card game market like in Japan?
insane.
It's big, right? A lot of card
Insane.
games.
If
Way
you
more
think
cultural.
card
It's a
games
small
here-
country, so all their hobbies have to be very compact.
It's not a small country.
Well,
I think
physically it
it's
is.
way bigger. Like
You
Tokyo
were
is
in-
bigger than
Was
than
it just
the whole
Tokyo
Australia.
you were in?
I'm also
Yeah.
joking.
It's crazy. Like I went to the card shop.
Yeah.
There is like hundreds of people buying cards every minute.
Damn, hundreds.
Yeah, no
There's
shit.
a lot of people.
Okay, behind the counter, guess how many staff?
32.
Danny is almost right.
Whoa, that many?
Yeah.
36.
There is like people sorting like buying cards. There's the buy to sell, right? So like if people to sell cards to the store, the wait is 4 to 5 hours.
4 to
Holy
5
moly.
hours?
Yeah, that's insane.
So you're just holding onto your cards in the shop
pretty much
waiting
you get
around?
a number and you wait.
You need to, like you can post stuff. You could, right when checks stop being used, you could post your checks off by just putting a little like lock bag. That's what they need. You need to lock bag them in. Like, I don't want to wait 5 hours to sell them like $3 worth of commander cards.
Especially if you're on a holiday in Japan.
And the thing is, like, they check the condition as well. So you need to whether accept the price or not.
Yeah. You can't just wander away, I
Yeah.
guess.
Pretty much.
Although
It's
If
huge.
you're selling that many cards, also, I'd just be like, I just accept whatever they
Crazy.
Tell
It's,
me.
it's so crazy. The market there, like, it's just open
I'm
my
assuming
eyes.
this is like a big store.
Every store.
Every store.
Every store. Every store you go, there's a queue. Like you're gonna Haruya, there's a queue on the street, down, and just the whole street is just queue. Everywhere queue. To go to the card store, can you imagine Northern Boards has a queue?
Should we just start a queue to make it look cool?
The queue. People
We'll just
How
make.
many, how many
people
people can
stand
we
in
rope
the
in?
queue for like half an hour to go to the card store.
I think we're pretty cool. We're a cool
We
place.
just get a bunch of regulars standing around making it look busy.
It's crazy.
You know how queues like unnaturally form sometimes? Like sometimes when
Yeah,
people, we're open, but there's people waiting outside and then people rock up to the door and they look inside, but they look at the people standing there and they kind of just also loiter outside.
Yeah.
We can naturally begin queues.
It's insane. The card market there.
I reckon
insane.
we can get some of the regulars, like we'll get Riley and Kai to just form a line at the counter and we'll just see how long
Yeah,
it goes.
so far you have 2.
Yeah.
You just keep going?
Yeah, I think once you've got 2, if you come up to the counter, you would probably naturally be like, oh, I'll just stand behind the queue, right? See, we can do that.
It's an eye-opening thing.
And then we can get 32 staff.
And
That's basically all of the people that come.
selling cards in Japan, good.
So, I mean, with a market like that and a population density like that,
Yeah, it's insane.
Is it like with the transaction rate to Japanese yen, is it worth it?
Yeah,
It is.
when you're turning over that much, then probably.
crazy.
But I think in Japan these card
Wouldn't you
games
lose money though?
No. What? Good money.
I think the reason why there's so many people that play these games is like in that space in Japan, there's way more of a leisure focus around these like card games. The hobby is way more common, like these card game hobbies.
Yeah.
So like things like Yu-Gi-Oh is came from Japan, right? And Yu-Gi-Oh is a global card game. So
Yeah,
no surprises. So, and while you were in Japan as well, did you do anything for yourself? Any like hobbies? Any just recreation?
Played a game. I played in a tournament. Got trashed.
Anything else? Or was it all work?
Go Disneyland.
Ooh, see now we're onto something. So you went to Disneyland yourself and some friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
was it?
Pay to win.
Pay to win.
Yeah, it's pay to win.
You got like the
pass.
speed.
just
no, the
buy the
fast
pass,
pass.
bro.
Yeah,
Just buy everything.
Have you seen
So how does Fast Pass actually work? So what I hear is that you grab.
$20 and you go right in front of the queue
Is there levels of fast pass?
Why would you
No.
ever
Gold
not
Fast
just
Pass?
Fast Pass?
because it's expensive,
$20. Yeah, but your time.
bro.
$20.
Trust me.
$20 to
You know
not
who's
wait
in
an
the
hour.
fast pass? Whites, foreigners.
Yeah,
That's all.
but that's $20 to not.
Are a lot of Japanese
spend-
locals visiting Disneyland? on a
Nah,
regular
they just
basis?
wait in the queue for 2
Okay,
hours.
Danny. $20 to not waste an hour of your life.
Oh yeah, I'd pay that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all of us, yeah, but not for the locals.
Yeah, I
fair.
guess maybe some people have saved up to go to Disneyland, and the $20 extra is like.
I hear
too
that,
much.
you get-
or you got 12 kids.
You
you're
get
like,
like Disney World in like Florida or whatever. You get the Make-A-Wish kids where, I want to go to Disney World, and they get the automatic, Make-A-Wish kid fast
yeah,
pass.
he's only got like 3 hours left of his
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
So you go to the store.
So you could be in line and you see this wheelchaired kid just get pushed in 7 times
I'd
in a row.
fight him. Don't push him.
So if you pay for the fast pass, pretty much you just
Quite
go
a-
straight right in front.
in a lot of other places, the fast pass is like crazy expensive as well. Like in Australia, they're like $70, $80. So it's a lot more money.
Now that's bougie.
But that's for the whole theme park, right?
yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
you can
it's
buy
cheap.
you can buy fast pass tickets.
In some places,
In Disneyland, it's per ride.
yes, yeah. So in a lot of places,
Paying for per ride,
Yeah.
not per the whole thing.
Oh, so you're saying it's $20 per ride?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes
so
more
it
sense.
stacks.
Yeah.
The Australian one's like the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's
so
different.
in a lot of places, I know it's like you get a fast pass for like $80, but you've got 3 tickets on it. You can only use it. You can only use it on 3 different things. Or
Yeah.
whatever. And then like at the American ones, I saw like a video about Disneyland where you have like a fast pass, but there's levels to the fast pass, and some can be used on these
fast
rides.
pass platinum.
Yeah,
So
and then some can be used on
you
other
have
rides.
you have fast pass that you can pay, and there's a fast pass is free. So you can stack them. If you stack them correctly,
Yeah.
you can go for all the
So
rides.
it's $20, but if you go on like 5 rides, you spend an extra $100. Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of
I
money.
get it.
Yeah,
Did you go on any rides?
yeah.
Where'd you go on?
Like the ones that can fast pass only.
The Disneyland was fun.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Would you go back there with your kids or avoid it?
I don't think it's like
Yeah,
maybe
was-
Disneyland
was
or
your
Disney Sea. I went to Disney Sea.
Was your
the difference?
experience
The rides are more like adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
was your experience different because you're going as an adult rather than
Not
being
really.
an adult with with children?
Oh, you definitely. Yeah, definitely. Going to a place like that without kids
It's
is
just that
crazy different.
I feel like if it wasn't raining, it would be better. It wasn't
So it's
raining.
raining.
Oh, that does
Yeah.
that does change things a
Did
lot.
they shut things down? or
No,
it's
no,
just-
no. It's just like it's drizzling.
Yeah.
It's not rain.
Yeah, it's a little bit
it's
more.
just drizzling.
It's a little not. It's not the day for it.
And like we couldn't line up because if you're in a queue for 2 hours under drizzle rain,
Yeah.
you just drenched.
You just wet the entire
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
so it's like
You like Star Wars, Danny?
Yeah.
There's no Star Wars though.
I know in some of the Disneylands, I know Disney World does in Florida.
Yeah.
They have the big super mega like Star Wars section.
Yeah, I'd
where
love to
you
go
walk
there.
in and it's all Star Wars themed. People are
Millennium
walking
Falcon.
around as stormtroopers and Darth Vader. The bars, I like those Tatooine style bars.
There's a really
That's
funny,
pretty cool, right?
Really funny video Connor sent me of a guy who goes up to one of the, I think it's like the Chewbacca guy and does like a Wookiee call, but it's really bad. And the Chewbacca just turns his head, looks at him and shakes his head and walks away. But those look amazing.
The other thing is also one more thing with Japan is everything is in Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're like, don't care about tourists in that regard?
It's not don't care. It's just it's just in it's like if you go to a Disneyland Paris, it's all in French. It's not in English.
Sure. Like,
No.
yeah, but that's why.
All the rides will be in French.
yeah, but they all speak English. Why
No.
would they not just have it in English? The same way that we have a lot of stuff in Chinese here, so that people like.
No, because you're in Australia, speak English.
Yeah, but that's not like.
Nah, in Disneyland Paris,
Have
it's
you
all in
like,
French.
Have you been over East recently? Like a lot of like road signs are in Chinese. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy
I know.
how much. You know that there was a big controversy at the end of last year because one of the I think Sydney newspapers changed all their primary text to like I don't know enough about this, but it was an Indian dialect. Like it was like some sort of written in Indian, and that was their main language.
but
And
if
they-
you're
I wonder if they did a statistic and they found that most of the
that's
readers
yeah,
were-
if you have most of the customers are there, then of course you want to change it to
And
localize.
I also
right?
think it's funny, like everyone was up in arms about this like newspaper, and it's like it's a fucking newspaper.
Yeah,
but
you're-
It's a dying media, guys. Who really
so 90 like if you don't understand Japanese, then it's a lot of things you don't understand.
just hard guessing.
Pretty much. They
that's why-
they give you the warning in English.
This is why it's so important.
Yeah,
Don't
warning.
die
Please,
here.
please put on your seatbelt.
So like you're Malaysian Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Can you read Chinese
No.
text? Okay.
But you have Google Translate.
Yeah. I'm super thankful for things like Google Lens now, where you can just have your phone out and it will translate it on the screen in front of you.
I think a lot of people like my group. A lot of them speak Japanese as well.
Yeah.
I mean, simple Japanese. Yeah. So I can speak.
So you would
Minimum,
you would have
like-
like a guide almost with you. Super
Not
helpful.
really. Like you just sometimes you can just speak English.
Somebody could just guess through.
Yeah, and then like a lot of things like
Did you get
could
anything nice in Japan Disneyland for yourself?
Not really.
Nothing.
Nothing to buy. It's just all kid stuff. There's no like
some
lightsabers.
cool
and
merch.
shit.
Yeah, we're
Merchandise.
adults that play card games.
Yeah,
The kid stuff's in the same
I went
vector.
to like Pokemon Center. Like that's the coolest one. Pokemon Center is fun.
Okay.
This is like maybe very ignorant, but is the language of Chinese and Japanese similar at all?
Half.
Or is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
half the
Half, like,
characters are, but the speaking
I think the
is not.
hiragana side, which is the olden Japanese, is similar with Chinese. Olden
with like Mandarin or something different?
yeah, it's called
Just the characters
traditional Chinese.
Do you think like sometime in like history it was like way
It
more
was.
fluid with each other?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Trade and just like commerce and
So
economics
like
was
Korea,
super like
Korea,
common.
I think like Korea, China, Japan, like you can find similarities.
Yeah, Chinese, Korean, and Japanese used to share like pretty much all the exact same. Actually, all three of those regions actually pretty much all shared the same characters. And then it was over time. I can't remember which Korean leader eventually changed to have their own text. And then in Japan, they kind of just 50-50'd it, where half of it is in Chinese characters and the other half is in kanji, where it's like not the Chinese
Correct.
characters.
Do you think that makes it more confusing, right? Because it's so close to another language.
Not really.
What happens is what you get actually a lot in those regions is that learning each other's languages actually becomes a lot easier.
I guess you're
So-
halfway there, right?
Yeah, yeah. So my mom actually used to be able to speak some Korean and some Japanese.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because it was just one of those things where like some of it has similarities.
Yeah, now that I'm single and back on Tinder, I see a lot of like females that have like list of languages they can speak, and like quite often you'll see if they've got Chinese, they've also got Japanese or Korean, or like they'll.
Do you reckon that's
quite often they'll see a
they
lot
can
of them.
speak it or they just Duolingo and like I can totally speak it.
It's like, hey, konnichiwa.
I can spend 2 months on Duolingo and also say that I can totally speak French, but I don't actually.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're claiming you can speak it, you've like got to back the claim up. I can't say for sure.
I think like
Wasn't the-
food is okay. It's good there. I think it's cheap. My friends say it's expensive, but I feel it's cheap compared to
well,
Perth.
the
Everything's
that's
cheaper.
I
right.
feel like if you're in Japan, complaining about the cost of the food is like a pretty low priority because like the food is already pretty good there.
Yeah,
You kind of just might as well enjoy yourself. And
but
enjoy
your
your time.
friends, were they also from Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But isn't the exchange rate for Australia crazy? Isn't it like 3 times their money?
No. It's like if it's 1,000 yen, it's like $10.
Yeah, but I don't have any relevance to that. What
So
is
like,
that?
what does a meal
like a
cost
bowl
now?
of noodles is like $12. It's okay.
That's cheap here. A
Yeah,
bowl of
that's
noodles
like-
here is
It's
cheap.
not as cheap as I thought it was. Because people,
Compared to Perth, it's cheap.
yeah, that is very true.
If I go and get pho, it costs me $13 to $14 now.
Yeah. That's like compared to Perth, it's cheap.
Okay.
Compared to Perth.
But how come people always banging on about how like Japan is the place to travel because you get so much further for your money? Is it that the exchange, like, you know what I
No,
mean? Like,
it's not exchange rate. It's like, well, depends who says it. Like someone from Australia. Yeah, of course. Because like if you go to like East, the flights is the same price as going to Japan.
yeah, yeah.
It's only $800 to go to Japan.
I should go to Japan.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video? There's a video going around of a guy.
12 hours.
He's a Middle Eastern fella, and he goes to go and get a haircut. And he gets quoted £38 to get the haircut, and he manages
Is
to
that
fly,
£38 a bunch?
So, yeah, it's just like $70, $80, right?
Yeah.
And he flies he gets all the way to Turkey and gets his haircut and still has spent not £38. Which is fucking crazy.
Boy, that's almost like the story in America where there's a student where he for him to go to uni or
Oh,
college
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah. He
he
just
found out that it
flies
was
it.
cheaper for him to just book a flight from his hometown.
yeah, where was it? It's where the capital is, right?
It's West Coast. It's like California-ish, right? Where the housing prices are ridiculous.
Where's the Golden Gate Bridge? What place is that?
San Francisco.
Yeah, that's it. It's that
Yeah, it
place.
was cheaper for him to book a flight from his home to uni every day for classes rather than just having an accommodation there.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's mental.
He's
man.
racking up freaking flight points.
Platinum.
Like every day, you just see like the flight hostess. You're like, oh hey, Gary.
My boss. And he gets food too.
Yeah,
True.
That's when he sleeps as well.
Yeah.
So Japan, okay. So we're talking the food. Did you had good time with food?
I didn't have a lot of
How
food.
long were you in Japan for?
7 days.
that's pretty
That's
good.
enough time for you to get around and experience it. Like especially if you're sticking to one
I
city.
I spent 90% of my time in card shops.
You guys have friends, right? Like half your friends in Japan right now.
yeah,
Like-
dude. I've hit the
it's
exact.
cheap.
So what happened is
I just tried to say that. You said it's not.
No, I said it's. I didn't say it's expensive. I say people say it's expensive. I said it's cheap. I say
Okay,
the food
fair.
is cheap.
Rewind the tape. I'm
having
going
whole
back.
different
I'm going back. I'm
conversations here,
checking.
right?
But anyway, I think what has happened in my life is all my friends have reached a point in their life where I've hit a crossroads where it's like post-COVID. All my friends are now in that like mid to later 20s where they want to travel and have the money. And most of them have the time now to travel as well because they're in their mid to late 20s. So they're all going out and enjoying Japan. And I'm like,
Is Japan the new Bali?
Yeah, I can say that.
almost. Okay, you know what's crazy? For Australians, yes. I reckon so. I reckon it is.
$800.
Japan apparently has
To fly, yeah.
Japan
$850.
has such a massive influx
Pretty good.
of tourism
Yeah.
right now, where like it's obviously the tourists bring a lot of like economy in, but for a lot of the locals, for a lot of the Japanese locals, apparently they getting really fed up. So you'll find
get
places in Japan now where they're actually limiting it for tourists,
Like non-regular
where they're trying
tourism.
to be like no tourists. Where you'll find in Japan now. You'll have restaurants and bars and places where they specifically list unless you're accompanied by a local, you're not welcome here.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. Yeah.
I
Don't
get
go.
it.
Just don't go there.
Yeah, I don't think.
Because
I guess no one's really rallying
if you think
against
about it
that.
statistically in the world right now, I actually think Japan is the most tourist place. I think Japan is probably the most traveled place for tourism right now in the world.
We sometime previously in the podcast we did this. And it's
I
not even in the
feel
top
like
10.
it's got to be super desirable.
Why don't you just
Remember
Google
it
it?
was, it was like remember it was countries that we weren't. Remember it was Poland was number one, and there was France and the US, and then something. But France wasn't. I don't think Japan was even in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Because maybe it's just my demographic.
It just might be in our zeitgeist because like
Yeah, because
I-
all our friends want
All
to
right,
go.
all right, boys, let's go
You have the list?
for the year 2023.
Okay, wait, hold on. Is this people want to go to or has been most
that's
traveled?
like most visited country.
Yeah, but that could be like just a number of reasons, right? Because Japan is also the other side of the world for a lot of places.
Tourism.
well, yeah, but that's just where it is.
True.
All right, let's go.
So countries.
Number.
Because if I was gonna go by sheer numbers, I would say like Mexico.
I will start with 10. With number 10. Number 10.
Watch
for
Mojo.
2023 goes to Austria.
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 Number
Ooh,
9.
hold on, before you go further,
They just go to Austria.
It's gonna be
What?
that's where the German trains go.
Hold on.
Hold on, just before we go further, it's gonna be a bunch of European countries, right?
Probably, yeah.
'Cause they're
hold
all
on,
next to
hold
each
on.
other.
Just wait.
Oh, yeah, true.
All
You
right.
could visit 5 in the same day.
Literally, you can
Number
drive 5
9.
hours one direction.
Number 9. Starting with a G.
Georgia.
Goes to Greece.
Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Number 8. The Achtung, Germany.
Is Greece's entire economy just fueled by tourism right now?
Yeah.
and hair grease, hair gel.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a bit racist.
All right. Number 7.
It's just olive oil sales.
Guess number 7. Number 7 goes to GW.
Oh, the UK.
I was trying to think what country
Do
starts
people
with GW.
actually want to travel to
What?
England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the center of the universe for like most
What,
nations.
what
London.
can I do in England that's fun?
Big Ben.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I can tell you
And,
one thing.
The Queen.
Sure. Not anymore.
Well, yeah, shit. The King.
If you like food, you don't go to UK.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the fact that they
shit.
okay, I've
What if you
constant
like
talks
bad
about
food?
this, but like the UK, like mainly England, has never recovered after like war rations. For some reason, after the war, they're still just eating like it's war rations, where like jellied eels are a thing.
Yeah. I think they just never really had that. It was always bad.
All right. Number 6 goes to Mexico. Number
makes sense.
5
Yeah.
is a very fun.
This is volume based.
Turkey.
5 is Turkey.
Yeah. Number 4.
I would go to Turkey.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would.
just surprised about that high. Yeah.
Forza Italia. Number 3 goes to Mr. Donald Trump.
America.
United States.
That still makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Guess. Time to guess.
Australia.
No, he said Australia already. Listen.
Austria, not Australia.
Australia. That's my
Oh,
guess
you
now.
did the classic thing, dude.
And I'm telling you to listen.
You haven't listed
France.
you haven't
It's
listed France
France.
yet.
Yeah, it's France.
Yeah.
No.
Italy.
It's Spain.
Spain.
And number 1
Hold on.
goes to
Wait. Spain makes sense because it's like the touristy place in Europe, right?
Spain is the Bali for everywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. Come on.
What's either France or Poland?
It's like France, Italy, Poland.
France.
so what? But the one that when we did this in the podcast last time, Poland was the number one we looked up.
Yeah, but what? Because these could be based. These metrics could be all over the place. If we're
Yeah,
talking
it's-
volume,
Okay. So
volume is almost entirely based on population.
that was the ranking. But if we go to like Asia, Number one.
Well, yeah, but you like
Yeah, of
Asia didn't
course.
even make it into any of the lists.
I know that this is only Asia. So number one in Asia is China. Number two
Yeah,
is
but these are volume metrics.
Is this just people moving around or people going to tourism?
tourism. This
Show
is
me Show me. What have you written?
like international tourist arrivals.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. What I'm trying to say is that I think Japan is a top 3 most desired like travel place.
You can't change
No,
now.
that's
Yep.
no. These metrics are based on
Then
population.
The moon is the number one desired place to travel to.
If we took 100 people and asked them where they want to travel, I bet
like
Japan
the-
is super high up.
All right, we'll ask the cast.
in the
patrons.
broadcast,
I'll put a poll.
in the broadcast,
Shall I do it now?
comments.
Yeah, do it now.
I'll do it now.
Yeah.
All
Where
right.
do- where-
So-
if you
Ooh,
could
I've
travel,
got a Tinder
if you could
So-
travel to
so number
anywhere
two-
for a holiday, where would you travel?
Number 2 is Thailand, and number 3 is Japan. I'm
Number 2 is
surprised. Number
Thailand?
4 is Malaysia.
How long have we got left? What are we at now? Oh shit, we didn't.
We're an hour.
Fucking we good.
We haven't even talked about anything. Are we a hobby broadcast? Hold on. Can I just point out,
No,
Danny?
you can't.
Okay, real quick. You've been listening to the same thing William's been talking about. William goes to travel, and it's the most just like nothing happened.
Yeah,
Why?
'Cause
Why aren't you having fun on your holiday, William?
because we're fucking nerds and we just go and do the same thing we do here.
Why'd you go to Japan and just play card games?
It's like
What do
when
we do?
In Japan, you go travel, you go see the sights, you go see cool things, eat the good food. No?
No.
Did you get yourself anything nice? Like, did you take home anything?
Nope.
You went to like Pokemon Land. You didn't get yourself like a little.
About my kids stuff,
What about yourself?
Nothing.
Anything nice for yourself?
nothing. I don't need anything.
Damn.
Why do I need anything?
Not even any clothes.
Nope.
Nothing.
Well, the Japanese clothing is quite cool.
Yeah,
It's
That's real
expensive.
trendy. What about like people go there? You know, they go get like the retro games, or they get some like
Nope.
cool watches for yourself.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing. I bought watches for my kids.
What did you ride in Disneyland?
What do you mean want to ride?
Yeah, you went to Disneyland for rides.
Oh, like I went to like the top 5 rides.
Okay.
It was like Center of the Earth,
What was your favorite?
Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror.
What is it?
It's like you know that the one that just drops quickly.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
you're on a seat,
Yeah.
and I was in the middle.
Yeah.
So there's no one in front of me, so I couldn't put my legs on anything.
Ooh.
So I just like floating in the air the whole time.
Damn.
It was pretty cool.
You got springboarded.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. That one's fun.
So how would you rate Tokyo?
Too many people.
Too many people.
Way too many people.
Can you add things to the? I don't know how to make a poll on this.
You can.
Press the little.
Oh, anybody can add option. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like going to like dinner, right? You gotta wait. So like if you want to eat like sushi train, the wait is like 80 minutes.
I don't want to
There's-
wait. That's
there's
too
just
much
too many
waiting.
people.
Oh, a lot of waiting.
There's too many
Hold
tourists
on.
there by the sound of it.
No,
I
it's not
reckon-
tourists, locals. Because Tokyo City, I think Tokyo City, the population is more than Australia. I think. Let me check.
The whole.
The entire city.
Yeah.
I reckon it's more.
I watched a whole video on how like there's the 3 main cities are smashed out with people there, but then like there's other
Everything else is
places in the
super
country.
sparse.
Yeah.
It's like
sorry.
Australia.
I apologize. Tokyo population is 14 million. That's half Australia.
Okay, never mind.
Damn, that's a lot of people in one space.
That's
Yeah.
still a lot of people in one city.
So a
but
lot of
have
train
Have you ever
rides?
Googled mapped Tokyo? It's a sprawl, like a proper like population sprawl.
So if you don't like cramped trains, walking, and waiting, Tokyo is not
Yeah,
for you.
I get it. I know that in Tokyo,
I'm okay with the first 2. The waiting thing sounds so bad.
supposedly
But if you're with
quality
friends,
of
it's
life,
fine.
like it's pretty
Sure.
hard in Tokyo because of the population.
Correct.
It's very competitive.
So I feel like if,
But I bet it's like no different than like if you lived in like a super mega sprawl of places like New York or LA.
nah, I think it's worse
You
than
got
that.
to get out of those places if you want to live.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But the food is good. If you go to like the 7-Eleven or Family Mart, it's good food there too.
Yeah. This is what
And,
you see.
and the
Like,
good part is you can get coffee in a can and it's hot.
really?
Yeah, you can just get it from the hot fridge.
The hot fridge.
Yeah, you just open the fridge. It's not, you don't feel heat, but when you pick up
I
the
guess
can,
it's a generally
hot.
colder country, so they would need that. It's not something you would ever need here, but that makes sense. I
Warm
get that.
drinks are just way more common in
hot
Asian countries.
drinks, like hot can, like
Are they all
literally hot.
packed full of sugar. I feel like every time you go to anything Asian, it's
Most
no
places
sugar.
you can get a warm tea.
The funny thing
convenience
is
store.
that you can get black coffee, no sugar.
Yeah, because those Boss coffees are from Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can
Their
see
quality's
like
actually really high.
calorie count. I calorie count my whole trip, so I didn't gain any weight.
See, that's why you weren't having fun. You were thinking about your calories instead of eating good food.
When
I don't
you
wanna
say
take a
your
loan,
calorie
bro.
count, are you just guessing the average of each one?
No,
or
just read
you're
read-
hard collecting all the micros? Or
No,
macros and
I just
everything?
see like averagely.
Okay.
I just see like
so a
oh,
coffee's roughly this. You know
Yeah,
this. Okay.
roughly. I just see the pack like that rice there.
I
It's
res-
like it's way too much sugar. Then I don't take it.
I respect that because I've always wanted to do that, but I'm not good at like memorizing.
No, just memorize. It's just like if you're not overeating, it's fine. Like you don't have like 6 meals a day.
I thought about downloading a calorie counting app, and I just
Nah,
told myself,
too much work.
I'm not
work,
going to
bro.
end up using
It's too much
it.
work. Like if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think that's it.
Yeah.
If you don't eat like breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, second lunch, dinner, second dinner, supper, then that's way too much.
Yeah, that seems too many. What'd you
Yeah.
eat today, Kang?
Oh yeah, mom made like rice and like ribs basically.
Nice. Just the one meal?
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
What did I eat today?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I drank a protein shake and some chicken wings.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Today is an
Homemade
under,
chicken wings?
Sorry?
Homemade chicken wings?
Nah, I just got it from
today is
somewhere.
an under 1,000 calorie day because I think yesterday I was definitely over 1,000 calories. I'm trying to average to like probably 1,500 calories a day.
That's good.
Average.
I decided today I was going to give up on my temporary diet, and
What do you do?
I went to Macca's and got that hot
Macca's
the,
again.
the hot honey chicken
Ooh.
and a shamrock shake. I literally
I think
Wait,
if you had the chicken,
they got a hot honey chicken.
Wait, hold on.
It's actually it's pretty good.
If you had the chicken, I think it's okay.
It's not as
but
bad.
when you had that shake,
Oh, the shake
that's
was
like
bad.
2
Shamrock
grand.
shake.
So
Mint?
I've dramatically cut the sugar that I'm eating. Like
Yeah.
this is the first bit of candy, these M&Ms I've had in a long time, right? And I've dramatically cut sugar. I feel like I felt the arthritis in my knees after the one shamrock shake.
Whoa.
Like sugar's so bad for inflammation. I felt it in my joints almost within the hour.
I feel if you just eat normally and just cut out the sugar, I think
You guys seen the statistics on how much like a Starbucks like
Yeah, it's
frappuccino
heavy.
or whatever it is?
fucking crazy. The,
Like
the
a third of it
pumpkin,
is just-
the pumpkin spice ones,
Oh my
those
God,
things are
half
so
of it
much
is
so much
sugar.
sugar.
Yeah. Like because I've been really trying to, again, single again, we've mentioned that. It's like, any single ladies out there looking at you, Kang, set me up.
You're betting on the wrong guy.
Soliciting on the boards here. But I've been really
You got
trying
better
to,
chances with William.
yeah, William. Maybe your wife knows some friends. She seems quite well at her job.
No,
Maybe
she
knows some
doesn't go
real
out.
professionals.
It's a Gobi Desert over here, buddy.
Kobe death.
Yeah.
Well, I've really tried to focus down. So it's like no liquid calories, none, zero. I'm down.
What's a liquid? Sugar.
Yeah,
Drinks,
no, anything.
drinks.
No calories and drinks, nothing.
So like
it's
water.
It's water, tea, like proper tea, like green tea, and black coffee.
Okay. The good news is,
And Pepsi Max, obviously.
wait, there's a massive dent in the
There's
fridge where
such a
there's just
dent. I
all,
thought-
all the drinks are like the average amount of give and take, and then the Pepsi Max just almost all gone in one night.
It's like I kind of want it as a meat because it's also the most drunk drink here.
You should just get
here by a
the
lot.
you should just get the Boardcast shirt is Pepsi Max.
I kind of want, here some places have like a specific fridge for like white monsters or something.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to just have a Pepsi Max fridge, just a little mini one, but it just sits somewhere separate and it just is Pepsi Max. thing.
Here's the Northern Boards. Here's the Boardcast shirt idea. We're just gonna make it black and it has the Pepsi logo on it, but instead of saying Pepsi, it just says Boardcast.
Oh, but in the text and
In
stuff
the
like
in
that.
the colors and everything. So the red, blue
that's
Pepsi
such-
maps. But
that's
just in
my
the middle
favorite
there, in the
idea.
middle there with the little swirly font, it just says Boardcast.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best idea
That's
we've had.
that's the Pepsi Max shirt.
It's my favorite. I would wear that everywhere.
All we did was take Pepsi Max. Yeah.
I can't wait to add that list of things I'm not going to get around to.
It's good.
Okay, but the good news is I actually already like black coffee and I already like tea.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it means I'm just smashing those through the entire day.
Yeah, that's all right.
You can't have
Really,
too
you should
much.
just be drinking water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just be drinking water.
So you're going to Japan?
I want to.
It's $800.
That's on a flight. That's like not much at all.
Yeah,
That's-
That's like going to Sydney.
It's so good.
Why would I go to Sydney or Melbourne if it costs the same amount?
I took the flight from here to Hong Kong. That's 7.5 hours, and then 2 hour
Just quite far.
layover, and then 5 hours.
Well, that was
Tokyo.
fine. You just grab like some food, have some rest.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. $850.
So out of 10, what would you rate Tokyo's experience?
I like it.
Out of 10.
I had fun.
1 to 10.
9.
9. So you liked it.
I liked it. I didn't say I didn't like it.
Are you well traveled, Will?
What do you mean well traveled?
Like, have you been to a lot of places?
I don't know what's a lot of places.
Okay. More than like 3.
How many
Yeah.
countries have you visited?
What Wait, hold on. What? Take a guess.
6.
7.
7?
William,
Wait, let me see.
No, you got to guess. Which number? What do you guess?
I don't know. All right, let's count. France,
Ooh.
Italy, Hong Kong, Japan.
What was
Malaysia.
Is Hong Kong its own country?
No.
Good question.
Singapore, right?
Malaysia and Australia. That counts.
Nah, I was. Oh,
It counts.
Wait, what else did I go to? Thailand.
You did visit here before moving here.
Yeah.
Because if I don't include China and Australia, I've been to 0
Cambodia,
places.
Vietnam.
Kane's been to 0 places. Crazy.
9.
I was closer.
What'd you guess?
7. I guess I just
Cambodia,
won.
Vietnam. So I've been to Cambodia, Vietnam, and
6.5.
Thailand. Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand.
Were those fun?
Yeah.
So
Different. They're very different.
So it makes it 9?
Yeah, 9.
Or 12?
9 countries. Pretty good
good.
number.
Want to guess mine?
Ooh,
You got to Dubai and
Oh,
Poland.
I forgot. I forgot. I forgot I did all the work stuff.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say 4.
Now it's more. It was because now. I've been-
Wait, I went to the UK. 10. I forgot about UK.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just forgot about
10
Dean and your adventure.
certifiedly puts you as a well-traveled person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, double digits is impressive.
Yeah. I think for the average person, if you've been to more than 5 countries, you're well-traveled.
Yeah. Before Frost Up and working, I'd just been to Bali and New Zealand a lot.
Oh, yeah, New Zealand,
classic
11.
Australian.
Man, do we have to show William like a map?
God.
He can point out all the places he's
Just
been.
start firing out countries in case you've been there. Hawaii.
No.
When you were a kid and you're in Malaysia, would you have traveled to like Cambodia and oh, you said it.
No,
Cambodia
no,
before.
no.
You didn't.
I started traveling when I was like a teenager and above.
Was your family as a kid like a traveling family?
Nah.
Yeah.
We didn't have money.
Yeah, we were so poor.
Yeah, too
we did a
much.
lot of camping trips, which I thought was
So 9 out of 10 for Tokyo or Japan puts it pretty high on the list then.
Yeah, everything
well,
is
you
like,
don't know. Everything could be 9 out of 10.
What
Yeah.
would you have as a what would you
you-
have as a recommendation for me as someone who wants to travel there?
I think in Japan, there's a lot of culture for
Yeah,
you.
what would you recommend? Like, is there like a thing I should look out for, or like a thing I should go check out?
Where?
Let's say
In
Tokyo.
Japan.
Oh, in Japan. I
come
didn't
on,
know.
man.
You see, okay. I think you should go to
William
like.
has his hands up to
Okay,
like
okay,
show that
hold
he's been
on,
to
hold
more than 10 places.
I am the
He
travel
has all of his fingers up like he's still mentioning it.
Hold on. If you, I feel like you can go to the whole thing, right? So you
All
can
right,
go
that's
to
the recommendation. So when you visit Japan, the whole thing.
Go
No,
everywhere.
hold on.
Just
Listen.
No, that's it.
All
We don't-
Japan.
Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. Like
Oh, so the
that
3
stretch.
places that the travel agent will tell you to go.
Yeah, it's easy because it's a
Did you
bullet
even
train.
go? I don't know if you actually went. I think you're just making shit up.
I went to
He took a week off for his birthday.
the last trip I went to Japan. I went to that tree, that whole stretch,
Which tree?
like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto.
What makes them worthwhile?
So like you have like the full urban, which is Tokyo.
Yep.
And then as you gradually go down to Osaka, it's like half. And then
Okay.
Kyoto is like full culture.
Okay.
So you go like from one end to the other end.
Oh, you see like the full
I
dichotomy.
have
Yeah.
heard that Kyoto is quite nice because it is way more of that.
Calm.
Yeah.
Is that where the capybaras live on the island?
The capybaras on the island.
Yeah.
Capybara.
Oh, I want to go hang out with the monkeys in the spa and the monkeys in the steam.
Because again, like with this whole range of this conversation.
Do you like to be naked, boy?
What?
Well, you don't get in with the
Onsen.
monkeys.
You don't get in with the monkeys. I just want to hang out with
Most
them.
of the
Rip your
onsens,
dick
like
off. It was Kyle. Kyle just came back from Japan. He was showing me videos of the monkeys lab.
Well, you know Kyle's story? Do you know that he was, when he was young, he randomly applied to be a bartender at a ski resort in Japan and then he got the job.
damn.
And then when he was young, he worked like a 3-month stint just as like a bartender in a Japan ski resort.
Damn, that's fucking cool.
Wait.
What an amazing job to have when you're like 20.
Yeah,
You
no
can
shit.
get a job while working if you want to.
Anyone? Like anyone can?
Yeah, you can apply for it.
Oh, like a working
they
visa.
want people who can speak Chinese because they have Chinese tourists, right?
Do you know
Sure.
I had applied to be do that job in Canada to be at a ski resort, hand out boots, and then Kelly came in like 2-3 weeks later, said she was pregnant. I was like,
Shit.
guess I'm not taking that job.
I think the
I was
secret.
hard planning to cut
I think the
out.
secret is that because the reason why they hired Kyle was because he was an English speaking.
Yeah.
And he spoke English, so he could communicate with all the English speaking tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same in
So,
Canada. They're like,
yeah.
oh, he speaks English.
Capybara. So go to Japan. I think you can. It's not expensive. If you go to a few friends, share the Airbnb.
Yeah,
cheap.
But the reason why I mentioned earlier that with the crossroads is because there really is only 3 criteria to travel. One of is like money. Second one is time, and the third one is Yeah, that's it. It's just money and time.
So, okay, I'll tell you
Third
what
one
I
is
spent.
criteria.
It's like, okay,
I spent-
okay. It's money and time, and then the actual third criteria is who you're traveling with.
Yeah.
You have to most of the time, it's worthwhile having someone to travel with.
Yeah, yes and no. It
Okay.
depends on what you're trying to get out of
Yeah,
it. But yeah, I
yeah.
see
My
what you're saying.
accommodation for 7 days cost me $300.
Damn,
What?
That's fucking good, eh?
Yeah, because I shared the Airbnb with 8 other people.
Oh my god,
okay.
you were jammed in there like a prison
it's,
cell.
it's an Airbnb for 10 people.
Yeah, so it's like a big, proper big house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we split it up, and it cost us $300.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and then my flights were like $800.
assume that the place-
so
'cause-
below
who drew the
$1,500.
who drew the short straw and had to sleep on the ground?
There's no ground. Everybody's still
Everyone
on
had
the
their
bed.
own room, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have your own rooms, or there was like some
It's
rooms?
rooms and like multiple beds. In the room.
You had yourself a little like team house.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Everybody
in
was
there.
practicing in the hall.
So
like
it
a
was
proper
like
little esports team
Was it a
house.
proper like Eternal Magic thing, or
We have some other friends as well, but
Yeah.
it's mostly internal.
yeah?
But yeah, below $1,500. Where can you get that?
Eternal goes external in Japan.
Where would
7
you,
days.
Where would you travel
Me.
right now? You put the poll up for everyone else, but where would you go?
I really want to go to like Turkey and Iran and stuff like that.
That makes sense. For the
I
history
think
and
the
culture?
history stuff-
Iran.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's not the
No,
safest place
Iran
to
that
go.
you got a lot of.
But like it'd be if I could travel with 100% safety, that's where I'd want to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Although unfortunately, a lot of the history has been scrubbed out by like groups of people
Yeah.
over the years, unfortunately. But that like incredible amounts of history going.
I'll be
right
going
back
to
like
Turkey
the
especially
inception
would
of, like
be
language and math. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Turkey especially would be like this huge, like history.
Yeah.
Like just the experience where a cultural like crossroads of the East and West.
Yeah, like Afghanistan and Iran and Israel and all those places in the center there. It's like that's the cultural
the
hub
birthplace
existence
of civilization.
Do you
civilization.
know where is expensive? New Zealand.
New Zealand's incredibly expensive. Yeah, my dad went back because my
It's tragic that it costs so much for Australians.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like my family lives over there. My nan was a bit sick, so he just went back to spend some time with her. And like I think in the course of like 20 days, spent like 6-7 grand on just getting there and stuff like that.
Shit.
It's
Crazy. No, that's the thing I don't understand. Like why the local tourism is so bad.
In New Zealand.
No, in Australia. It's so expensive to travel locally.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Like
Well, it's only because the rest of everything's expensive.
yeah, but you could,
Our dollar's out of control. Like that's why inflation's in the news every single day.
it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
like why would I want to travel locally where I could just pay the same and go overseas, right?
Well, that's the thing is like no amount of tourism is going to compete with us digging iron ore out of the ground.
Yeah,
so
true.
it doesn't matter. And that's like it's just the reality of it. It's like and that's the thing is like that's the same reason we have problem with like wages inside the cities because it can't compete with us pulling iron ore out of the ground. Like it doesn't.
Also, tourism in Australia, I mean, if you're already in Australia, you don't really need to go anywhere. Like no one's going to Darwin.
Yeah, it is crazy
For
Like,
traveling.
That happens in
I'm gonna
most
go to
coun-
Melbourne.
It does happen.
Yeah, but that's kind of it, right?
countries,
It's
though.
kind of just Melbourne.
Most countries
Sydney?
will tourism outside of their
Queensland?
own country, and that's why every country has such an advertising scheme from their governments to try
Adelaide?
and get people to travel within their own country.
Correct.
Because
Well-
there's lots to do and see in
Yeah.
Australia. Like, there's a reason that so many people come here in the first place.
Yeah, but if you're not from Australia, traveling into Australia, I get it, right? Australia's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
quite a nice place. We have a lot of good sites. We have a lot of good things to experience. But if you're already in Australia,
Yeah.
it's kind of just you go to Melbourne or Sydney and that's it, right?
And that's I think it's like you're in Perth and you can travel to Broome to the best beach in the world, supposedly. And I get it's incredibly nice, but is it $4,000 more good than just going down to Scarborough?
Yeah.
Like for someone who already lives here, probably not.
So, because the comparison I'm going to draw is like, let's say you're in the US, where you can travel to state and city to city, and it is very, very different.
Dramatically different.
Yeah. Same thing as Europe. If you're in Europe, just traveling culturally.
Plus,
to a
if you're
different
traveling
country.
around America, it's always like the risky, like fun of like, am I going to get like murdered in this place or not? You know, it's like some
Ooh.
backwater forest or some haunted hill or some hills of eyes kind of situation.
I kind of like that.
You just live it on the edge. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
There's,
got to
there's a-
make the next fuel stop without getting murdered. Yeah. You gotta-
There's a video.
Can't play too many video
back in the
games.
day. Back in the day when Vice on YouTube was good.
He
they
thinks,
actually,
he thinks he got a second life. Restart.
yeah, restart. Yeah.
now, as a single guy who doesn't have a lot to live for right now, that is perfect, right? Like just the adventure, the YOLO adventure. So it was back when Vice was good on YouTube. They had this series where this guy just hitchhiked across all of America,
Oh yeah.
and he just videoed his entire adventure. And young me was like, "Oh, the adventure part of that sounds amazing." Where you just experience just this cross country of like different people,
Next
different
minute, you
experiences.
turn up in Cambodia.
You know.
No, just your organs, dude.
Well, the thing is that like the good news is that as a guy, the chances of you getting randomly killed is a lot less than.
Yeah, there's definitely your safety is.
You're never gonna
even more
you'll
than
never
a
do
female,
this
right?
if you're a girl.
Yeah.
The truth is. So
Yeah, so that's a hard trajectory.
it's a
to pass
hard
on.
like good thing male privilege thing.
Well, traveling is a hobby too. So we're still in the topic of hobby. Hey,
Was that something we're concerned about? Isn't it?
right? Do we have any answers? Do we have anyone voting in the poll? Or was it
Yeah.
too late at night.
there is.
Yeah. What do people say so far?
I like how
At the
you
time
answered.
of-
There is. We have no idea, or have you checked?
At the time of what is it? What do people vote for?
What Greg has voted for Australia.
Well,
Thanks, Greg.
that's unhelpful.
Thank you.
I get it. If you're already in Australia, why not?
Boswell say, let's visit.
Oh, okay.
Let's
So
do.
before we finish up, do we know who won?
Who won
Worlds?
what?
Do we have an
Oh, yeah,
announcement
yeah,
for
yeah.
world winner?
Yeah,
Who was it? One
Someone
Piece
from-
world winner was
China.
okay. And what did he win?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like the winner's got to win something like a
You win
prize card.
the price card, the Luffy.
Ooh, how much do you reckon this prize card is going to cost?
Maybe $1 million, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe $1 million.
Just a casual meal. Nice.
$1 million US
Yeah,
in China. That's a lot of money.
maybe. The participation is like 20K.
Damn! Whoa, 20K is not bad.
So all of those like 28 players got 20K.
The 32 players. Yeah,
32 players.
If you sell it, yeah,
So you had how many Eternal Magic players was in the top 32?
just one.
Just one.
There's only one representative from Oceania.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, one per.
Oh,
one
shit.
per country.
So it's a massive deal that he got in.
Yeah. So
Why
yeah.
didn't you lead
Why-
with
this
that?
was so- this
That's
is like-
like big news.
We spent
was.
our entire time talking about Danny chasing some lady in a car.
Yeah.
William, that's like real news.
Yeah, but there's only one slot for Oceania.
So
but there's
Oce-
two,
so-
there's
so-
like I think like 4 slots.
So Eternal
in
Magic
NA.
representing Australia.
No, Oceania.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. Eternal Magic representing Oceania at
2 years, 2 years straight.
at the world stage of One Piece.
Who is it?
Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last year, Eternal Magic also represented.
Was the guy who
Worlds.
won? Was the guy who won the finals? Was he sponsored on any team?
No,
So he was just a guy.
he's just a guy.
God damn.
Just
Yeah.
a guy.
It's crazy.
Basic
Why do
guy.
you even have a team, William? Just have the guy.
Last year I had another player as well went to Worlds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So this is second year in
How
straight.
did Jasper do?
Unfortunately, lost in Swiss. Unfortunately,
During the pairings before Top Cut.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Lost in Swiss.
But it's got to be fierce
Oh, it's
competition.
hard. Just getting there is a
What
feat,
deck
right?
did he bring?
Doflamingo, blue Doflamingo,
And that is the
one of
medal?
the top. One of the top decks. Yeah.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the top 4 decks were not the normal meta like contenders. So
it's a bit hard to work around.
Yeah, we had Lucci, the Rob Lucci, the black Rob Lucci as the champion. Second place is Shanks, Raid Shanks.
We haven't seen that deck in a while.
Yeah. Third place was Rob Lucci again, and then 4th place is Enel. And all the black yellow.
Yeah, Nell is not meta, right?
All the black yellow Luffy were supposed to be like one of the top contenders to win. All got knocked out and switched.
I hear that. I
Yeah.
do hear this a lot in competitive card games where the top deck sometimes isn't the play because people will tech around it too
Yes,
hard.
correct.
So you
Yeah,
want to actually
yeah.
dodge under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, when you've got something that's like is a bit more niche, it's really hard to work around that. Like you can't bank on that. So you don't
And
have
that's
cards
testament to a
fight it.
really strong player who's able to kind of identify where he can dip under the punches and
Yeah.
create a deck that is still really, really strong.
Because it's a small pool of players, 32, and you can tag. Pretty much. You can just hard tag.
I love it because you get truly good card game players where they innovate the meta because of their decisions, where they'll have like cool cards inside the deck or cool cards in the sideboard, and because of that, they shape what's being played. But they were at the forefront to make the decision in the first place, and that's testament to a good player.
Yeah.
So
It's cool.
It was interesting.
That's amazing. It's actually amazing. Very, very impressed.
yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you back on, William.
Yes,
This
sir.
was a classic Boardcast episode where we just went on about things, and most of it was actually just me and Danny shouting at William.
Yeah.
Classic Boardcast experience. So thank you very much for being back on, William.
Let's go.
Do you have any more plans for traveling anytime soon?
Yeah. Middle of the year
Yeah.
to New Zealand.
Ooh, we're just talking about New
Bit of,
Zealand
like,
being
travel
expensive.
with the kids, or
Yeah, this one's with kids. So that's why it's expensive.
have you planned out where you're going?
Yeah. Not just South Island.
Yeah.
The whole thing wouldn't be in South Island.
You want to go visit my family?
No.
Wait, William goes to your family, knocks on the door, shows them a picture of the broadcast. You don't understand. We have this podcast thing.
Well, my one side of my family is quite wealthy, so they live on like an estate. It's a
Would they welcome William?
It's a they would It's on an estate on the golf course, and the golf course is wrapped around the hot springs.
Nice.
So it's actually
Whoa.
like it's like Florida millionaire kind of.
That sounds
Damn.
nice.
Yeah, it's actually so nice. Yeah,
Legit.
that side of the family we married into.
Is it North or South?
South Island.
Oh, nice. South
They-
Island.
my auntie married a fella, and he owned the Honda dealerships in the South Island.
Oh,
so he
nice.
did quite well.
That's like one side of my family where my cousin, they like have, they drive AMGs and have Cartier jewelry and all sorts of fancy stuff.
Sounds like a real Chinese to me.
So I have one last point before we head off, boys. You want to tell us what happened with Kai's links the other day, Kane?
Which one?
Kai's links.
What links?
He's linked to his broadcast episode.
I posted it. What do you mean?
Did you post it maybe a couple of times?
Oh, yeah. Oopsies. The Spotify is fine. I got the Spotify upload, no problem at all.
So because I listened to it on pretty much within hours of you uploading it, and I didn't notice, but
Yeah, the Spotify episode is all good. I uploaded the correct one. On YouTube, I accidentally uploaded the unedited version.
so I think there was some discussion before.
Yeah, there was
the
there's like a little bit of like early on. I was like, oh, dude, and then and just the overall quality was a little bit lower. But I got it. I got on
Did
it.
we say anything
Hold on.
incriminating?
Not without Kai sharing it to the family first.
If
Nothing incriminating, Danny.
if
good.
if the listeners on YouTube is higher, we're gonna put it in some unedited.
Just give them some,
Cast, yeah.
some fluff.
Yeah.
I'm on board. I think our Spotify is going to be higher though, right?
Yeah, our Spotify on average is way higher.
Do you know?
Once again, I think what's happening a lot is you get people might try us out at first on YouTube because YouTube is convenient for everyone. But a lot of people also have Spotify. And then in the long term, what I'm noticing is that more people just kind of move to Spotify.
Well, YouTube's also having like a mass exodus of people using it.
I get it.
It's actually reducing a
How's
significant amount.
the listeners now? Has it increased or?
It's the same time. You asked this question last time.
Yeah, I just
It
wanna
still
know.
hovers around 60, 70 on the Spotify side, and YouTube's still around 20 to 30.
Oh, okay.
I like that. There's 100 people who listen to us yap every
Yeah.
week. It's crazy.
Meow, meow,
And the
meow.
good news is that I know that they are listening through because on the statistics, they show you the graph, right? On the average fall off of how many people like actually fall off on the duration of the video or duration on the episode, and almost all of them reach the end.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I also
So most
know
of our listeners
I'm
are
impressed.
just
Thank you
listening
very
in.
much.
there's about 5 to 10 listeners that we're not catching on those statistics because I found out that Connor told me today that the people that we worked with in Poland at the tech company, one of them has been downloading the episode and they've been listening to it in Poland in the workshop. So there's like 8 to 10 dudes in Poland who vaguely speak rough English listening to us.
That
yap
is
every single
very
week.
funny
Yeah.
that they don't quite understand what we're talking about.
Well,
Wait. Hold on. Let me
very much so.
let me get
So
some.
I want to say hello to all of my Polish friends, Seb and all the lads. Really appreciate you guys being on board because that's really internationaling our listenership right there.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
How do you say this? Zikuji?
Don't anger the Polish.
No, it's thank you.
What I'll do is I'll download Babbel and I'll Dziękuję. Dziękuję.
It doesn't sound like the how to spell it.
Yeah, none of the letters and things make any
There's
sense.
too many curly bits
Thank you
in the
so much for
letters.
listening.
Yeah. As I thought that was pretty cool. Apparently, if the boys have time, I think they're over east at the moment. But some of at least one or two of the boys from Poland are here now, and they're going to come play some cards with us.
Oh, nice.
It's been interesting.
Welcome
week.
on down.
The span of magic continues to breach people that I never thought ever would. My brother messaged me and a bunch of his mates who were like, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but like Bogany barbecue beers on a Friday, guys asked him if it would be cool if
Damn,
they come.
Triple B.
Yeah.
That's a really marketable name.
That is. I can't believe you didn't see that on some
We got
thongs or
triple
something.
R's and triple B's.
But they and triple K's if you're Kang's character.
Oh, William needs to generate his character.
Oh yeah,
That's next episode.
I'll do that next episode. I should have done it today. But he asked my brother if it'd be okay if they come down and play some cards, and I was like, "This is
Oh, triple K is sounds wrong, bro.
What do you mean?
insane request." And then the Poland
What do you
boys,
mean? Triple K?
I like that. I like that. William just made the connection right there.
Yeah, just now. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Do you know what I was actually thinking of? Because I'm definitely going to do the Fiverr thing because it's going to cost me $70. I don't care. But we should get Izzy to draw the characters.
Yeah, he would do it way more justice because he has the contextual knowledge of us, and he's actually Izzy's been doing. The listeners don't know who Izzy is necessarily but he's kind of our resident like artist doodleist.
Yeah.
And then he would normally just do like kind of doodle art with like black and white, but he's expanding out a lot more with color, shapes, and markers.
I posted up his Orc Army token that he made Tom on
so
the
good.
Northern Boards page the other day. Poor Izzy because they say come a little bit far to like travel to come hang out. He came here yesterday, played some Highlander, and he left with about 20 requests for tokens.
yeah.
Nice.
He's a bit like so with taking a request because it opens up a floodgate for him. Where, like, he likes to do it as a hobby right now.
You feel bad about asking. I was like, I totally get it as an artist as well. You don't want it to feel like a job, right? You want it to
Correct.
feel like something you want to be doing. So
But he's legitimately very, very
kind of like how
good.
I'm painting my miniature. I want to, I want to enjoy the process.
You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it yet, William. But it's quite the masterpiece.
It's funny.
Now.
Eli, in conjunction with Izzy, who's Izzy's brother, he's opened up to commission paintings at his Dark Servitor.
Yeah.
He's opened up commission painting. We talked to Eli on the previous
Interview
podcast.
The 1 year anniversary.
So I thought maybe I'll just give it to Eli to paint, and then I'll submit it to William like it's done. Technically, I facilitated a model getting painted. that's
You pay to win. You pay to win.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
guys.
tuning in.
Thank you so
Welcome
much.
back, William. Welcome back, listeners. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
See you, bye. International
Just
Fellas.